everybody. My name is Gretchen. I'm the Restless Thrifter, and I'm a reseller on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop. I think that's all the platforms that I've sold on in the last few days. I am a little behind my shipping. Nothing's late, but I wasn't able to pack up Saturday, Sunday, or Monday because I got sick. I got a stomach bug or something, and I am so happy to be done with that. I was so miserable. If you watched my video right before this one, it's a Ben's haul video, and I was goofy as can be because I was just so happy to be feeling better, wearing real clothes and out of bed. So I am catching up, and I wanted to talk a little bit about messaging your buyers and chatting with them. I wouldn't be afraid to do that even when you're admitting that something isn't going to happen the way they might like it. So for example, even though I had some of these set to extended shipping and they purchased them on a weekend, so they were not technically due until Tuesday or Wednesday, I went ahead and messaged those earlier buyers, like people who had bought them on Saturday, and said, hey, I will get this packed up tonight and it'll go out tomorrow. I was under the weather the past couple days, feeling better now. I think I said I'm feeling like a human and, to be on your way. Sorry for the delay. And one person just responded with, okay, which I always take that to mean, I hate you. I'll never buy from you again. I take everything so personally. But all they said was, okay. The other people were like, oh, glad you're feeling better, or hope you're feeling better, one of those two. And it's no problem. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Well, one person had even reached out to me and said, I want to take this on a vacation or something, so seeing when it's going to ship. That particular dress wasn't supposed to ship until next week. And that's because I had it set for a really long handling time, because when I was gone to Denver, I changed the handling time. And when things go out in an offer with a certain handling time or business policy attached to it, it will keep that business policy until the offer expires or until you relist the item. And once it expires, then you can change it. So they hadn't noticed that, and I'm glad that that wasn't the case, because I don't know if that would be too late for them. But they were fine. So I did that. And then I want to talk about the flip side of talking to your buyers and the negative things that can happen. But first, we'll get started on shipping. The first item that sold since my last video is this Adriana Papel size 18W dress, navy midi, polka dot preppy, car wash split hem. If you don't know what a car wash hem is, think about a car wash with those fringy things that slap against your car to wash it. That's what it's like. And I tried to show a picture of the dress in motion, just a still photo to show what that looks like, because I think it's super cool. And this sold fast. The week before I went out of town, hold on, let me grab it. I was focused on listing anything XL and above, so that's mostly what has sold. And this dress is gorgeous. Adriana Papel in general doesn't sell super well, but for plus sizes, it is a good brand to pick up. And we're going to ship it out. It's sold on eBay. It's going to South Carolina. They paid for shipping as well. Let me pull up the listing and I can give you all the sales details. They sent me an offer of $25. I had it listed for 2 weeks. I had it listed for $35, but I'm like, you know what, that's fair. I spent $432. With shipping, they paid $36.07. I'm going to put this in a 10 by 13 polyroller. Some people do not put their items in bags when they store them in their inventory. The reason I do is because I have the furriest dogs. And even if I didn't let them in that room, the fur would get on there. It gets on me, it would be in here. It would be furry, and I don't have time to delint everything again. So I take the time to put it in a bag in order to preserve its less furriness. Is anything ever completely fur-free? Probably not. I do try. I do put in my listings that I am a pet-friendly home, smoke-free, pet-friendly. This weighs 13. I'm going to round that up to 14. And because as I say, I don't trust that a fly won't land on it at the post office and then they charge me more. Shipping is $6.25. Marketplace fees were $5.35, and I made $20.15. So that's great. I really would love for all of my sales to be oh crap, that's not what I meant to do, sorry. Dymo, there we go. To be over $20 or more profit. Doesn't always happen, but if I keep my cost of goods low, like below $5, and if it sells for $30 or more plus shipping, then it's pretty guaranteed. This sold for $25 plus shipping, and it still got me that profit that I wanted. Put a thank you sticker on it. Yeah, okay. And that one's done. So happy it's sold. And sold quickly because I just thought it was beautiful. And I was a little like, Adriana Papel, I don't know. But it's a very classic kind of dress too, with the polka dots. All right, the next one is a torrid dress. I think this is the person who asked me where is it? Yeah, this is the person. It's a really pretty midi handkerchief dress, which is like describes the hem at the bottom of that. Torrid size 2X midi chalice handkerchief dress, boho, asymmetrical baby doll, flowy. It does have that baby doll top where it's like an empire waist and, you know, the book kind of hugs this area and then flares out. And a handkerchief hem usually has a really flowy, nice, like a lot of movement to it. So I include that keyword. This is going to New York. And I had this at my rack in Ferris, where I have a rack in a vendor mall. And it didn't sell there. The plus sizes just aren't selling there, so I'm pulling all of that stuff. I paid $3.24. It went out as an offer to watchers for $28.02. It sold in 1.5 weeks. My marketplace fees were $5.67. With shipping, they paid $39.90. And I'm going to put it in this larger poly mailer. So it is thicker. It's lined as well, so it's got some layers of fabric. And the label. So what is this actually measuring? 14 by 11. And I'll probably have to pause and come back to this video after my husband gets back from walking the dog because I'm hungry and I want to eat dinner when he's back. It weighs 1 pound, 6.5 ounces. So I'm going to round that up to 7. And I said it was 14 by 11, probably by 2 inches. Shipping is $8.50. So I made $22.49. First 2 sales, getting me where I need to be. That's so nice. I will still pick up things that will sell for less, especially if they'll sell quickly. But sometimes I pick up things that just don't sell like I thought they were going to and don't give me the profit that I want. Sometimes I list things that might take a while, but they're in my house and I want to get rid of them and I know eventually they'll sell. I don't do that all the time, but I sometimes do. Hold on. Tilt that down a bit. Yeah, I felt like there was so much room above my head. And the next one's a Depop sale. This person was totally fine with it being later. Oh my gosh. Okay. What's interesting is I've been making a couple of Depop sales a week, which is nice. I don't know when they normally message you that you're late on shipping, but this sold on Saturday. And on Sunday, they're like, you need to ship. And I'm like, it's been one day and it's Sunday. Calm down. And I say they, Depop said that, not the buyer. Depop. And then on Monday, they're like, you need to ship. And I think Tuesday, they were like, whatever. She'll do what she's going to do. I had reached out to the buyer and they were totally fine with it. I'm going to put this in a 6x9 poly mailer because it's small. Small and lightweight. It sold for $11 plus shipping. That was an offer they sent me. I also have found that for the most part, offers that customers send me on Depop are pretty fair. Like I had this listed for $15. They sent me an offer for $11. Okay. No problem. I paid $1.56 at the Denver Bins. This is one of the things I got in April when I went. And it sold in 2 months. And I used some keywords that are popular. Celestial Scarf Shawl Wrap, because it could be used for any of those. Moon Stars Galaxy Witchy Whimsy Goth Black Metallic. I did not put a brand because I don't think it had one. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't have mattered. I really want to get rid of that scarf. Hold on. Put makeup on it. I feel like it's very prominent right now. I mean, I haven't reapplied makeup since this morning. Dark circles around my eyes. I feel like a football player. Okay, well, that was a little bit more than I needed. Sorry, this has become a get ready with me, I guess. I'm using my phone that I'm recording with as my mirror. It makes it a little more difficult. It's really kind of like impossible to cover it up because it's an indentation too. It's a raised scar, you know. Screw it, guys. Now my cheeks look really red. Screw it. Baby wipe. All right, so I made on that. Fees were only $102. I made $842. That's cool. Easy to list. Saved from the bin, sold quickly. I need to download the label. It's going to Pennsylvania. Tore my heart. Okay, 3 down. I have a lot of sales. I'm not sure how many I'll do in this particular video, and then I might wait and ship out some tomorrow that sold more recently because it's a lot. It's like 17 items, and it's gonna be a long video. Okay, this one is another plus size item, and it's a Lane Bryant L-I-V-I, Livy, I don't know if you pronounce it that way, active top, size 26-28, top tee, crisscross, open back mesh black. I used the picture of the back of this item as the main photo because it was the most interesting part of this. The front was pretty plain, and you don't want somebody getting surprised by cutouts. So that's what I used. I had it listed for $20. It was on 15% off through a sale I had going on eBay. It sold for $16.97 plus shipping. It also sold promoted, so this thing did not make me as much. With shipping, they paid $23.97. I'm gonna put it in a 10 by 13. I paid $2.16, which is $1.99 plus tax. And I do believe But I got this at a $1.99 sale at Thrift City in Louisville. They have racks, $1.99 racks. Well, actually, they've gone up to $2.99 in a lot of cases, which I'm going to pick up fewer things for sure. I will pick up more bread and butter at $2, which is kind of a Goodwill bins price, as opposed to $3. Make sense? So my marketplace fees were $6.90 because it was promoted. It weighs 11 ounces, so my shipping is $5.62. And my profit was $10.62. Not too bad. It's going to New York. Another plus size item. This is something that I knew would sell online, but I had taken it to my rack in Paris. The Clothing Collective is the name of the shop we've got going in there. My friend started it, and she's done an amazing job. I also had this at the rack at the Plaid Fox, and nobody wanted it there either. So I took it home. I was like, this is going to sell online, and it did indeed sell quickly. I don't know if it's going to fit in. Nope. Trying too hard to cram it into a smaller poly mailer. Also an eBay sale. It's going to South Carolina. It is a Talitzw Woman 2X Petites top, floral blue scallop side zip sleeveless spring preppy. I don't know what to use for these words. I did pin it back with a clothespin on the mannequin when I took a picture because it just wasn't coming across normal, and then I showed that it was pinned, and I also showed a picture of it not pinned, didn't I? Let me check. No, but I did show it laying flat with the measurements. This had like a honeycomb kind of texture to it, and it sold for $25.47. Let's see, that was probably a sale as well. Yep. An offer to watcher, actually. After 2 weeks, it sold for $25.47 plus shipping, which came to $31.14. I had paid $206. My marketplace fees $4.59, and shipping is $4.57. Awesome, $19.92. That's almost that $20 mark. I'll take it as a win. And it sold, how quickly did I say? 2 weeks. I was thinking 2 days, but it was 2 weeks. Still, it had been at the Plaid Fox, which shut down. It had been there for at least a month, and it was at the Clothing Collective probably for close to a month, if not more. Next item is a Mercari sale. I make fewer of those than I do Depop, it seems. These are a pair of Crocs classic clogs, men's 6, women's 8, chain lock, piece punk rock, black summer. Somebody wanted these for less and wanted me to take these little doodads off. They don't come off, not easily, and it would be obvious, and so I was like, nah. And somebody else came along, and I'm pretty sure they sent me an offer. Yeah, $33.12, or they accepted my offer. So that seems like a weird number to give someone as an offer, unless it was to make shipping, you know, make it a whole number or something. $33.12. Marketplace fees were $7.57. No, $4.04. My cost of goods were $7.57, which is a little high for Crocs, but these were like new. Yeah, this was an offer they sent. Sold in 2.5 months. I had them listed for $39, so I thought $33.12 was pretty fair. It sounds like they just wanted shipping free, you know. So I'm going to put these in a box. I think they'll fit in this one. It's a 12 by 9 by 4. I know it's big enough, but is it tall enough? I will need to fill it up. Oh, no, it won't. It's perfect. Tape noise warning. In one of my videos recently, I guess I was making fun of myself for being incompetent with the tape. Several people were like, "You're fine, you're doing fine." Which reminds me of that comedian, I think his name's Tom Papa. He has this bit with, "You're doing fine." We saw him in person. It was funny. I think he's become more popular since then because we didn't, it was just like at a regular comedy house. Okay, on these I made $21.51. Yay! And I need to download the label from Mercari. Open the label, print the label. Going to Alabama. Okay, that one was excellent. Next is a Lane Bryant plus size 26-28 top embroidered peasant boho olive. Peasant again. I didn't realize I did that. Cottage. I don't know what I would have used instead, but I would certainly have found another word to use to, yeah. This sold in one day. It sold full price. And I was like, wow. I mean, it is cute, but I didn't think it would be a one-day sell or a full price sale. But it is very nice. Like I said, sold in one day. It sold for $31.40. That was the cost plus shipping. I had it listed for $24.96. I paid $2.70. Marketplace fees for $66. Putting it in a 10 by 13. It was an eBay sale. I used to use these larger cellophane bags as for sweaters and stuff, but I've got thousands of them and I'm out of my other size, and I need to use them rather than buy more. What am I doing? Weighing it. So it weighs 10.3, that's 11 ounces. And shipping is $5.49. Uh-oh. I think it's going to California in the Bay Area. I think I deleted the, there it is, okay. And I made $18.55. Close enough to 20 for me, and it's cool with it selling same day. And for full price, that's nice. I don't think my husband's home yet. Keep going. The next one is a breakable item. Sold on Sunday, so I'm going to go ahead and get it packed up. I had these listed separately. They are art pieces, and the person bundled them on Poshmark. I had them listed for $60 each, and I think they sent me an offer for $60 for both. And I said, yeah, I've had these a long time. I still think they're really cool, but Not as cool. Oh, I had them listed for 50 a piece. And so basically I sold them for 30 a piece each. Marketplace fees were $6 each. Cost of goods, $4.37 each. Shipping is $0. So each one made me $19.63. My husband is home. So I'm going to go make dinner. I will pack these up off camera. And since it's Poshmark, I'll use probably 5x5 box and a priority mailbox. And then I'll put a screenshot of what I made total for all these sales in particular. And then I'll create another video for the rest of them. Sound good? You guys have a great night and just keep listing.